2026 regular VOFPC meeting is called to order at 6:16 p.m. And we have Commissioner Borisma.
Here.
Chairperson Hoffenberg.
Here.
And we have a quorum.
Great. First order of business is approval of the minutes from February 18th, 2026. We've had a chance to review the minutes.
Yes.
Any questions or comments?
No, not at this time.
Right. I would entertain a motion to approve the minutes from February 16th or 18th, 2026.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. We have a little bit of new business ahead of us. We have an update on the fire department. Michelle, do you share with us, please?
Yes. We're in the final stage of reviewing the contract between PST, the company that we're interested to use to do the firefighter recruitment. And I'm doing a coordination between PST and our village attorney. So just want to make sure everything is agreeable on the agreement. We should be able to make an announcement in the next few weeks.
Okay.
Super exciting.
And for the captain promotional process, they have assessment center orientation this week. Next week, they will do assessment and also the written exam. So in the next meeting, we should have at least a preliminary list. And then if they don't have any points to claim, we'll have the final list.
All right. A little bit quicker than I thought.
Right?
Yeah. All right. Good.
It's very exciting. Right, how about the police department?
Alright, so the police department is doing well. As we sit today, we are at 27 out of our 28 sworn. So we're hopeful that's our lateral candidate that we're going to bring before you tonight. We'll do well in our process because that will get us to full staffing, but we'll see how that goes. We won't put that cart before the horse. But we are doing well. Sergeant Pula is officially retired after his pension board hearing a few weeks ago with his disability pension. So that brings us down to 27 sworn and with the one opening. We will need to do a recruit test this summer because our current list expires in June. We are interested, similar to what the fire department has looked at with some of the changes that have been proposed in Illinois with testing. I think Chief Rita may have kind of talked about that at a previous meeting, that there's been a push with IO Solutions to work with the public, PST, right? Yeah, I get PST and NST, right? PST, I'm doing a rolling type of list where we have applicants are able to take our test at periods of time that we so desire. We could have it done, we can keep it open all the time. You could open it in increments. It's a lot of options. It would require a little bit of rewrite of our rules. But rather than prepare a list that expires in a 2-year period, you could update it with new applicants where you insert them in based on their score that they got on the exam, and the applicants have an expiration date of 2 years from the time that they make the list.
Really?
Opposed to having 2-year lists. So there is a push in Illinois for that. The attorney that represents the Illinois Board of Fire and Police Commission spoke on it at a seminar that Chief Rita and I went to, and it said it's completely acceptable to do that within the Illinois BOPC rules. So it's quite a paradigm shift from what everybody has done historically with recruit testing. So we're certainly interested in exploring that. So we will, and we'll bring it to you for consideration once we have more facts and everything ironed out. If we can't do it this particular time, maybe we'll have to shelf it for the next time and do a traditional test this time. We'll see how that all works with the timeline and with our rules and all that stuff. But I think it's an exciting way considering the future of police testing. Because the problem is today, as you know, as soon as you establish a list, especially when we've all had smaller quantities of officers or applicants, I should say, taking the test, the good ones usually get hired pretty quickly, and our lists are good for 2 years. And so oftentimes by the time you get to even the 6-month point, you know, the good applicants are already taking jobs with other agencies, and the list is, and it takes us so many months just to get to that process from the point you open up a recruitment process, to do a written exam, to do the BOPC, meetings with the interviews, and then the military point period of time that we wait usually another month. So it's a long process to get to hiring somebody. So if we can get something, the concept of this is that you always could potentially have willing ready, available applicants at a time when you have openings. So I'm curious to see how it shakes out. It is new to Illinois and the concept is new, but it sounds like something I would recommend that we probably do. But I'll say that more officially when we have everything kind of ironed out and review it with the labor attorneys and look at the rules, our BOPC rules, and see what modifications that potentially would have to be made.
So that's been available. Has it been tried anywhere?
You know, they do it in a lot of other states, from what I understand. It's new to Illinois. I think there was some belief that you couldn't do something like that you always had to exhaust a list before you went on to a new list. This is saying you just have to give the applicants their time on a list, and the new people will get inserted as based on their score because they're all taking the PST exam. So it puts them at doesn't hurt the one applicant in the respect that like somebody's getting put in front of them. It's only because they got a higher score on the exam.
So it's not requiring a statutory change from the way it is. It's just a different process within the scheme.
That is what the attorney is represented
That's interesting.
for the BOPC commission.
I like how they've kind of turned the law and kind of interpreting it differently.
Right.
Makes
It
sense
needs
to
to
me.
be done because what has been happening at Illinois law enforcement has not been real effective.
Mhm.
There are some of the larger agencies that have tested as many as 3 to 4 times a year.
Oh, geez.
So,
How inefficient.
these agencies, I don't know that Aurora tested 3 or 4 times, but an agency that size, that could have 20 openings in a year and has a small applicant pool, that would be, an example of agencies that had to do that. I don't know that particular agency had to do that, but it would be an example. So I think it's a really good move for Illinois and for chiefs. We're all fighting for the same people, but our list, the 2-year list doesn't really work. To have an applicant apply and then 2 years later call them and think they're still on the job. Again, I'm a dinosaur now in this profession, but 28 years ago when I was starting, there was 1,000 people at the test, and there was people that were still waiting on that list in 3 years before it expired, and it's not the case. It's not the case now. So I think that's an exciting thing to come your way. We'll see how it shakes out. A lot of stuff has to get flushed out though with the labor attorney and reviewing the BOPC rules and all that.
So I'd be curious if it's been tried somewhere in Illinois already.
It was just presented in December.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes.
I know that Brookfield recently signed a contract with them. So
Oh,
labor in
okay.
town is using them.
Okay, all right.
I'd say there's a lot of excitement. And IL Solution, which is one of the largest testing vendors for police and fire, is wholeheartedly gone to this model. They're using PST, public safety testing, for their testing now, with PSTs or IL Solutions involved in the creation of their exams. They partnered with them, and that's the way they're going. We could still offer a PSD exam though as a Saturday morning test here at the Village Hall, or the things that we've done in the past, and we could still use it as a 2-year list the way we have it. My thinking is if many agencies in the state go to this model and we were to stay at the old model, it would probably put us at a big disadvantage. So we'll see how that goes and we'll see how it shakes out. A lot to be seen. So, and if a couple
Should
other,
be nimble with this.
That's what I like about it. But if a couple agencies, tested out the waters before we do this, and flush out some of the issues, that's never gonna hurt anything.
Right, sure.
So we'll see how that goes. And then my only other update, when we promoted Sergeant Pereno at the end of last year, that exhausted our sergeant's exam. So we will have to start preparing to do a sergeant's exam again. Fortunately, we do not have any sergeant openings at this time, and I don't have any that I anticipate opening in the near future. So I don't feel that we're under the gun to offer a sergeant's exam, but we do want to start planning for a sergeant's exam. We've added that to the budget for next year to do a sergeant's exam, and I'm looking to maybe do that in the fall. The sergeant's exam itself generally has about a 3-month period that we give the applicants from the time we get a notice, and there's usually about a 3-month review period for them to review all the testing materials. So there's usually a series of books and things that are going to be on whatever exam we choose. Personally, maybe yeah, I hate to put that right in the heart of summer, you
Sure.
know, the prep period, so I was thinking if we could maybe try to push it again, absent openings that I don't anticipate us having, you know, a little later in the year. I thought might be a good time to do it. And one of the disadvantages we had the last time we tested is the department is so young. We only had 8 people on the police department that were even eligible to take the test. So by pushing off a little longer, the officers have to have a minimum of 3 years to be able to take the test. Pushing off a little longer is going to give us an opportunity for more officers to take the test as well, which is very good. My advice to officers is always take the test. You know, even if you think it's too soon to be a sergeant, if you think it's too soon, it probably is too soon. But it's still a good experience just to go through that process. You know, so I always encourage all the officers that are eligible to take it. So we'll see. I'd like to see us have a bigger pool of candidates than we did when the sergeant training was listed. So we'll see how that goes. And with that, I'll let you mention the next topic. That's my update, unless you have any questions for me.
Oh, it sounds great.
Well, it sounds really good.
Moving on, I think that we have an oral interview. Actually,
Yeah.
before we do that, we have to approve the final alternative eligibility register. Brian, do you have any questions or concerns about it? Chief, you want to tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about your process thus
Yes,
far?
so, you know, we posted the, pursuant to our meeting that we had towards the end of last year, that we agreed to post our lateral ad in the beginning of this year. So Michelle posted our lateral job openings in January of '26. We did receive 3 applications. As I've done in the past, I'll review those applications with you in closed session. And then we've determined one of the applicants to be a good fit for our department, and he was invited to a command staff interview. He came in and did a command staff interview with me and my staff, did very well. So he's here tonight for his interview. And we'd like to present him for a list, and then once he's on this list, he'll be having his BOPC interview with you tonight. And then hopefully, if that goes well, we can look to move forward with the process for him.
Right.
I don't have any questions. That's a great time, so.
Fantastic. And at this time, I would ask for a motion to approve the final alternative eligibility register of, I believe, March 18, 2026. Is that correct, Michelle? Yep.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. All right, then I guess without further ado, Mr. Robinson, we're very sorry, but we have to move into closed session for our interviews. So at this time, I would entertain a motion to move into closed session.
So moved.
Second, all in favor? Aye, and I think the purpose, I have to say, the purpose of the closed session meeting is to conduct business related to personnel matters for the village.
The open section is called to order at 6:53. Chairperson Hopper.
Here,
Commissioner Beresma.
Here.
We have a quorum.
great. All right, now that we're back in open session, I would entertain a motion to extend a conditional offer of employment to Juan Gonzalez. Do I hear such a motion?
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Chief, is there anything else you need from us?
No, thank you very much. We look forward to working with Juan and wish him well in the process, because he has still a lot of testing left to do.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Michelle, do you have anything else to add? Right, then now we're moving into public comments. So please, Mr. Robinson, the floor is yours if you have anything.
Jonathan Robinson, I'm a resident. Just the point would be, again, if at all possible, consider recording the meetings and putting them out there so the world can see them. There's a lot of quality things that happen in here, and letting the public know that there are people questioning situations and whatnot is important.
Michelle, we would reiterate the request you made at the last meeting to explore the possibility of recording our meetings. We would very much so be in favor of it, but again, I think the resources and the approval likely has to come from, those above us. Literally.
I will forward the request.
Thank you. All right, there's nothing else, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Well, thank you guys all so much.